opinions on that. But Sunday, woke up, watched USA take down Canada. Bad week to be a Canadian right now. Women and men.
Terrible week to be a Canadian.
Women and men's get it done. The maple syrup stock is low
Unless
right
you like
now.
being in second place.
Just sell your stock at all maple syrup companies if you have them right now. Get it all out. It's gone. It's never recovering. After that, went to Saints. Watched the Tottenham game. Watched them get embarrassed.
That's a Tottenham bar, right?
Yes,
I think there's a couple teams that meet there to watch games, but Tottenham's definitely the one I've always
usually
heard.
That's the Tottenham bar, yeah. But
how was the crowd?
It was good. It was good. Usually how it usually is. Not what it usually. Not its best, especially when you're playing the North London Derby against Arsenal. Figured it'd be more, but understandable. They are absolutely horrible this season, so that didn't get any better. But it was fun to go. It's always fun to gather with the Tottenham crowd and hang out and watch some soccer over the weekend. But wish it was better. Then after that, had a really busy Sunday. Came back, took a quick nap, and then went to Indianapolis with Grant and met Scoots and his younger nephew down there, and we watched the Pacers last night.
First NBA game?
No, I've been plenty.
Oh, okay.
I go to at least 4 or 5 Pacers games a year.
I didn't realize
this year I hadn't gone too many because they've been horrible.
Yeah, and you work on sports radio now, probably.
Exactly.
So.
But we usually the past couple of seasons, the roommate and I usually go, like I said, 4 or 5. One of them is usually a playoff game. We try and get one of the earlier games when it's a little bit cheaper, but they obviously haven't been good this year, so we haven't really gone to any. So yeah, first one this year. It was fun, and they got the outcome I wanted, which was a loss. So I was happy.
Did you fade them?
No, I didn't put any money on it. I didn't put any money on it last night.
Okay.
But I mean, look, I'm going to say one thing before we get to the Louisville sports talk and stuff. Micah Potter, man, there's nobody on that team that wants us to get a lottery pick more than that guy. Okay, my gosh, he was really putting in the effort on both ends of the ball. I'm talking about turning the ball over and not scoring points. He was doing a great job. I stood up and applauded Micah Potter last night.
He understands it.
All jokes aside, I'm not trying to throw any shade. That might be the worst NBA player I've ever seen. He's not. He's bad.
I've seen some tweets.
He's bad.
That's fun though that you got to go watch your team play, even though it's in a tanking fashion, and you were hoping that the tank continued.
It's always fun. Like I just like it's like
live sports with friends is you can't beat it.
There was a lot more people than I thought there would be. Like that's a great place to go watch a basketball game.
Yeah, Cambridge is just too nice.
It's fun. It's a good time. How was your weekend, Roman?
My weekend was fun. I got a doubleheader at Midway on Saturday, so that's what we spend a huge chunk of my day there. It was the reversed outcome of what was expected. Girls team loses to a team that I felt they were better than, and the men's team beat the best team in the conference, and that was not expected. So good for them. They'll both be in the tournament. Both already had their ticket pretty much punched for their conference tournament. I believe that both can do some work and make room for themselves in the national NAIA tournament, so that'd be cool if they can both get in there. But unfortunately for me, my season is done. They will not be hosting any more games at their home court anymore. So great first season, I think. I improved. In the latter end of the season, I improved pretty drastically, I felt like. First couple of games, I was still just trying to get everything comfortable, trying to learn how the process of what I want to do and how I want to do it and get comfortable with that, and then finally starting to add the words and articulation of things that I want to do differently when I do play-by-play. Got to finally do that in the last handful of games, I felt like, which was cool. Shout out to Justin Kalen and Dylan Brown down at Midway University for giving me that opportunity. Can't ever thank them more, because that's what I want to do going forward in life is at least be something that I'm consistently doing on the side and getting better at and upping the level at which I'm doing it. I'll go ahead and say it. Midway is not the end game goal. The NBA is.
Really?
This is the start. So
you're not building a whole career by Midway play-by-play basketball.
You're right. Okay, maybe that was the obvious, but still.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that's crazy. You're shooting too high, Roman. Come on. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
But it's still. I got my start in doing it consistently now. Doing it at the university level, which is super, super awesome, and I can't wait to continue to see how that grows. But Matt, we got to get you down there. I'm trying to. They only pay people to do it for basketball and basketball and football. So we'll have to wait for football for you to maybe make some money or something like that. But I'm gonna try to get us the opportunity to do some soccer together.
That'd be fun.
Maybe we just split the gas tank, go down there. People want to listen to Matt and I kind of have some fun calling some Midway soccer games, making fun of the other team. We'll do that and get us both some extra experience.
I'm always down to make fun of the other team.
Joking, of course. Only a little bit. Matt, I had a good weekend, though. Didn't do too much outside of that. Saturday night, got back in town, and then had to come into the studio, which, that's fine. Worked Sunday night as well for the pairing show. Outside of that, I watched The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Love that show. I'm a big George R. R. Martin fan. I think I've made that clear. But this first season of The Night of the Seven Kingdoms has been awesome. So was kind of waiting around all day for that when it's a weekly kind of upload show. I haven't had a lot of those in my life that I've cared to be a fan of, shows that are coming out literally weekly, but these are nice. So
did you end up watching Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah. I've watched it a couple times.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yes. Waiting for season 3 of House of the Dragon, which comes out in June.
Because that was the last one for me that I was excited to wait for next Sunday.
Yeah.
That was the last one I've watched where I was really just week to week waiting for that show to come out.
House of the Dragon was really the first one for me that I truly had to experience that. Outside of one of those the Penguin, shows that have only were hot for a second.
That one was okay.
It was.
I thought it was a little
Where's season 2?
It wasn't bad, but I felt like it was really overhyped just because it was kind of in the Batman universe. People were really excited.
It was good acting. The story was actually itself was kind of not that entertaining, but the acting was great.
Yeah.
So that's why it blew up. Plus it being, correlated to the Batman, and then they're showing that they're going to maybe have the new Batman actor in it for a little cameo, which is I'm surprised there hasn't been more of a call for season 2 of that. But we got to get more into the Cardinal talk here. Shout out to the listeners on YouTube, the viewers on YouTube tuning in here as well. We don't normally go live on the YouTube page for the Running with Roman show because it is only about 22, 23 minutes long, but we are today because why not, right? Let the people who want to listen on YouTube as well. I know there's a lot of people who do listen to most of the shows on YouTube. So, Matt, Cards get a victory. Actually, before we do that, how did your pick do from Friday? Do you remember?
It was good. I put it in about whenever I think Scotty was tied for either 69th or 65th.
It was a sweaty one at first.
It was a sweaty one at first, but I picked him to finish under the 20-line mark. I was like, there's just no way. Scotty's just not going to just flop the Genesis Invitational. And he finished tied for 12th. So it ended up working out.
He had a clutch Saturday.
Did. Really big Saturday.
And yeah, he was able to finish strong.
Jacob Bridgman just barely held on. Roy McIlroy I thought was going to get there for a little bit, but Jacob Bridgman left his birdie putt short. The birdie putt a lot shorter than I thought he wanted to. Made a little bit nervous on him, but he finished it out. Congratulations to him.
I should have went with another soccer pick. I haven't had the best soccer pick. We lost the Inter Milan pick from the 18th, which was Wednesday, Champions League. But we did hit the Real Madrid pick from the 17th, and we've had two hitting big bets from Friday's soccer picks. But we went with LeBron 20+ points from the Friday game. He did not cover that. We took the same prop as a or an official punch on Ticket Punchers yesterday. He covers that. I knew he would bounce back. But we don't hit the LeBron 20+ points. You know who did hit? The Cards. Not necessarily a lot of the props, but Cards get the victory, 87-70, Matt. And this was pretty much as expected. I wanted to ask you, let's point to the positive first. What in this game impressed you?
The offensive efficiency, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was consistent. We didn't have a 115-point game, but it was consistent throughout. I feel like we didn't take too many terrible shots in this game. We pounded the paint when we needed to. Michael Brown played, another great. It wasn't, 29 points.
No.
But he played a really good game, consistent with the Virginia Tech game we played on. When he first came back, I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's fully back. It was really good. The
offensive team victory, I think you could say.
I think so too.
We covered.
Great, good teams win. Great teams cover. I didn't see a lot out of Frew.
Yeah,
that I wanted to.
And it was weird because I'm sorry to interrupt. On
You're good. Go ahead.
Point. Why did you go to the first play of the game was perfect? They didn't have the size out there at more times than not with a true good defender to stop what he could do, and we didn't really go to it much.
No, we didn't, and I don't know. Like you said, we're pointing to the positives. My positive is that the offense was efficient.
You're right.
That's my positive.
Positive is definitely one of the ways the offense looked. I think that the fact that the ball kept moving around and bouncing around, even through, some longer possessions to go at the start. I think that we just kind of felt like we knew we could beat them, but that we were hitting shots on top of that, right?
Yeah.
I think that when you saw some of the other players come in and hit shots, that was nice. I know that Kanai didn't really have the best game. He hits one. Kobe Rogers didn't have a bad game at all, but he hits one. Who's been a shooter that hadn't really been able to get going much lately, fully ignoring wide open jump shots more times than not. Ali Khalifa hits one. Adrian Woolley hits one. And none of them really played that overall of a great game. I thought Rogers played good in his 10 minutes, but it's good to see the bench players come in and at least hit shots as well with an offense that wants to shoot a lot of threes. We went 14 from 31, 45% from 3, which is great. We held them to 3 for 18 from 3 and then 46% from the field. I mean, we knew there was a couple of guys that could come in and get buckets, but this is just not an overall organized offensive side in Georgia Tech, and we just had to stay locked in defensively. I thought that our guards defended pretty well for the most part, but we did the thing where we substituted pretty frequently and kept everybody fresh, and I think that took advantage there at the end. Were there any negatives you wanted to point to in this one?
I know that Pat Kelsey ran a couple experimental defensive sets in this game.
Got a couple stops with the full court pressure.
Yes, I like that. We also ran some guys a lot more minutes than they normally run, trying to try out some different rotations, like you said, a lot of substitution in this game. And that's all that stuff I'm fine with. I'm perfectly okay. I know mentally we're not a great defensive team.
Yeah.
But this team played 65% of this game at times like we knew we were going to win by 30, and it kind of upset me. It was we would go up big, like 25 points, 23 points.
I'm allowed them to come right back in.
I'm thinking
back into it, but go on an easy run.
You don't have to win by 60, but just keep them at arm's length, and then we would not just take our foot off the gas. We would get out of the car. We would allow them to take hey, it's your turn to drive, and we're on a road trip together. It's their turn to drive now, and they would push it all the way back down to 9, and I'm like 9 against a power 4 opponent. That's a good lead, but this Georgia Tech team is bad. They are bad. I know that they have decent coach, just a really bad team. They don't have great players. It's an unfortunate situation for Georgia Tech at the moment. It was just so frustrating that at one point I was literally looking at the TV watching. I'm like, okay, we're up by 24. We can push it to 30 in this next possession. We score, push it to 26 or whatever. I look down at my phone for 1 minute, it feels like, and it's a 12-point game. And they gave us multiple 12-0 runs. That's not good. That's bad. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, there was a lot of complaints on X when that was happening. I didn't get to watch this one in live time, but I got to saw. I was like, why? There's a lot of negative tweets, and then I'm looking at the score, and we never felt like we gave up the lead. And then I do my watch of it, and I'm like, whoa. If we weren't getting to the free throw line at the rate that we were, this would have been a much closer game.
Yeah, I understand that there's going to be stints in every basketball game where you just go 3 or 4 possessions without scoring.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. You can't, shouldn't, but it's going to happen. Everybody's going to have those slow stints in the middle of the game. It is your job that after they score 4 or so points to say, okay, look, we're going through a rough stint. We got to get it on the defensive end to build our momentum back up. And this team just didn't. They just didn't.
They would speed things up offensively and then get more careless. It was the turnovers. It's the same thing every time, Matt. This team gets sloppy with the basketball when we get a little bit of a lead, and we start making careless passes and doing things not at the rate that we did in the first half of games out on the perimeter. And we still scored at an extremely high rate in this one, so it's hard to truly complain about it when you put up 45 second half points. You allowed 39 second half points from the worst team in the ACC.
10-0 run, but 12-0 run by itself is unacceptable. As a power 4 opponent that really wants to try and make a run in March is unacceptable. Multiple in one game is even more unacceptable. Doing it against the worst team in the ACC is triple unacceptable.
It's unfathomable.
It is. I actually
it's unforgivable.
I don't understand it. We've seen guys like Evan Mayakawa this year stress all season, hey, these teams that can go on 10-0 runs, they're the best team in college basketball. You let it happen twice against the worst team in the ACC. Twice. That's unacceptable. I'm sorry. That's my rant. I'm done.
I like it. I'm with you. I think that it's easy. It's people are going to say, we know this is a bad defensive team. We know that what this team is defensively. We know what Ali Khalifa is. We know this. We know that. We know McNeely. Every time one of them they had a broken play, guess who they attacked? McNeely.
Find a way.
You still have to dig deep. I think you still have to adjust. I don't think that I think Pat Kelsey gets into the mindset, well, if we can score efficiently and get to the free throw line at the rate that we are, we'll be okay. And to an extent, against these kinds of teams, yes, it's going to be okay. It's still at this point of the season, you want to be having all of those little type of intangible aspects of your defense nipped, fixed, tweaked, improved. And it still feels like game in and game out we'll have moments where we just look completely lost defensively as a team, not just one or two players. And you go up against an opponent like tonight, Matt, and UNC, who, yes, they're without Caleb Wilson, but they've still got Visar, Henry Visar, the 7-footer out of Estonia. They are still capable of defending at an extremely high level with the size they have on this team. There was a good amount of size on the bench as well with the, what's his name, Zayden High kid, who's been grabbing rebounds at an extremely high rate lately. Does that performance against Georgia Tech specifically worry about tonight, or were there maybe already just the worries defensively going into tonight? Or do you kind of maybe more so worry, is this a game that they match up well with what we want to do offensively, and you don't think we're going to be able to put points up?
I don't think that we're going to have those defensive struggles again. Like I said, Pat Kelsey was really experimental in this game, so I give a little bit, barely, like 10% the benefit of the doubt. 10%.
Last game, you kind of had to do that kind of stuff.
And Pat Kelsey knows how big these away games at UNC and Clemson are going to be here coming forward in terms of not just seeding, but, for our overall mentality going into March. I think we'll have a better understanding. There's a part of me that believes that Pat Kelsey might have spent his whole 2 weeks prepping for UNC and was like, guys, just beat Georgia Tech. Just move on. Like, I hate when coaches do that, but, like, look. At this point in the season, it wouldn't surprise me if that was happening.
If he claims he doesn't. He claims the next thing's the most important thing, whether that's practice that day.
The Georgia Tech game, it definitely worries me defensively. Offensively, no. Defensively, it does worry me. But that's not even my main worry. My main worry is that, Pat Kelsey hasn't beaten a ranked team on the road. Yet. So, one, I don't want to sit here and tell you, they're missing Caleb Wilson. We know that, but they're getting Vasar back. That's a big grab for them. Until he does it, I can't sit here and talk to you, Rowan, and be like, oh, my gosh, they're going to win this game 91-74. I know we blew out NC State. NC State blew them out. This team is a shell. I can't say that because Pat Kelsey hasn't done it
yet. And, this is I don't want to – I'm not going to say the perfect opportunity, but this is a better – opportunity than what you've had lately this season in terms of getting that opportunity on a ranked opponent on the road. I agree. Because, yes, they're sitting at 16th. Yes, Visar's back. He had a good game against Syracuse on Saturday. They're still not the same offensive firepower that they were when they had Caleb Wilson. And when they go down, they have the chance to go down and not really have that way back into it. Just missing that kind of creator and scorer that he is and that energy factor that Caleb Wilson is. I'm not saying that, this is you got to go beat up on North Carolina when they're down. They've won games without him.
Yeah.
You look at what they've played teams close. He went down against Miami. You saw them lose. They lose that game. They still beat Pitt. They lose to North Carolina State, and then they beat Syracuse on the road. This is still a good team. We still have our work cut out for us here tonight. What, in your opinion, needs to happen, Matt? I've got a couple of things written down here. We don't have a whole lot of time. We kind of spent too much time talking about our weekends than planned.
You've got to defend the ball better. And I'm not saying you need to have some, Michigan versus Duke 53-point final score, but you need to show that Georgia Tech genuinely was just you overlooked it moving towards. You had a great game plan for this game coming in, especially being on the road in one of the craziest environments in college basketball. You have to play efficient defense. What happened at SMU has to be a one-off game. It cannot happen again.
Sananda Frew needs to have a big game tonight. I'm not saying he needs to have a double-double. I'm not saying he needs to have 15 points even. He needs to be efficient when he does get his scoring opportunities. He needs to knock down his free throws when he goes to the free throw line. And he needs to rebound the basketball at a high level in this one. If we can win the offensive rebounding battle in this one, get those second chance opportunities like we did early in that game against Georgia Tech, which is kind of was a factor I think that helped us get that cushion. You set yourselves up for a lot more of an opportunity to win here tonight on the road. Kanai and Hadley, they have to be on their A game defensively and on the glass as well. This is a team that is going to try to use their size. They're going to play big because they are missing Wilson. They're going to have some big lineups out there. I don't know if you're going to have a lot of prior minutes. I don't know if the Khalifa is really suited to score much in a game like this. We're still going to need them to play big when they are in the game. That's kind of one thing that I'm calling for here in this one. I do like the overall offensive guard matchup. I think our Ryan Conwell and Michael Brown should go out there and be able to outplay the Dixon kid. And Seth Trimble, yeah, he's good, but he's not the kind of presence on the floor that should go out there and be able to go crazy. Yeah, he can knock down some threes, but he's not the best 3-point shooter.
There's nothing out there that our guards should say, like, you can't handle this. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing out they don't have that we can't take care of on ourselves.
I'm right there with you. You got a score prediction for tonight?
I think, unfortunately, I usually am the guy who is rah-rah, U of L.
3.5-point favorites, Matt.
I get it, but until Pat Kelsey shows me, I can't believe it. I'm going to say UNC wins this game 84-81.
Okay, I can. That's fair. You have every right to feel that way. I'm going to lean the other way, though. I think Pat gets his first big road win against the ranked team. I'm going to say Cards get the victory. I don't think they cover the 4 points. I think this is right at the 2.5 line. I think Cards get a victory in a lower scoring matchup where we have to win the rebound battle and the free throw matchup, 81-78. That's going to be my score prediction. Who's your player of the game, Matt?
Player of the game, Vasar. I guess if I'm picking UNC, if I'm picking U of L, I agree with you. It has to be Sanandafru. I'm picking Sanandafru.
I'm going Ryan Conwell in this one. I think he goes out for more than 20 points. I think he has an efficient night. I think he kind of takes advantage of the switching that they'll do out on the perimeter and gets to the free throw line more than we've seen some guards do recently against North Carolina. Got a pick for tonight as well?
Yeah, I'm taking Houston money line over Kansas. I know it's in Fog Allen.
Bounce back spot. We didn't get into any of the top 25 matchups.
I know that Bill Self doesn't lose on Big Monday, but at the same time, Houston cannot afford to lose 3 in a row. That's just not happening. And then with the Darren Peterson situation, they're coming off a loss, huge loss against Cincinnati. They're going to want to bounce back as well. But I'm taking Kelvin Sampson in this spot 9 times out of 10.
I like it. I'm going over 137.5 in the Houston-Kansas game. So both of our picks in that game. This is going to wrap us up. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll be back right after this, 2:30 to 5:30 right here with the Mike Rutherford Show.
John Spears for